If you're trying to understand why your number hasn't brought you peace yet, stay with me. By the end of this, we'll talk about why retirement often feels less like a finish line and more like learning your way through something new. It's a process that asks more of you than what most people anticipate. How much do you really need to retire comfortably? It's an important question. It sounds like it should have a clear answer, a specific number, a clear finish line. And the honest answer is that it depends. Now, that's not a dodge. It's an acknowledgement of reality. If you watch the video about retiring on $500,000, you may have noticed something. It focuses on trade-offs, not promises. This conversation picks up where that one leaves off. Not to offer a better number, but to explore what actually determines whether retirement feels comfortable. Comfort in retirement isn't created by a spreadsheet. When work ends, more than income changes. Structure changes, your routine changes, and your identity shifts, and that can feel scary. For decades, work, it organized your time, purpose, and contribution. Retirement removes that framework almost overnight. That's why the question, how much do I need, carries so much emotional weight. It's rarely just about money. It's about wanting reassurance that life will still make sense. And this is where many people feel uneasy, even when the math says that they're fine. This is the part most retirement conversations skip entirely, and it's usually why the number never fully settles things. Two people can retire with the same portfolio and have very different experiences. One feels capable and calm, the other feels anxious and constrained. The difference isn't the number, it's how clearly each person understands what comes next for them. Many plans move straight from saving to spending, from accumulation to withdrawal, without clearing any space in between. And that space is important to slow down, notice what actually matters, and to explore life without deadlines shaping every day. Without that space, money gets asked to do too much. It's expected to create comfort, certainty, and meaning, and it can't do those things. One of the most useful ways to create that space is to treat retirement like an experiment rather than a single irreversible decision. An experiment isn't about success or failure. It's about seeing what fits and what doesn't. Before fully stepping away from work, test retirement out. Try living on what you believe your retirement spending will be. Notice how it feels, what felt right, what didn't. There's no right or wrong answer. This isn't about proving anything. It's all about fit. Experimenting allows you to feel what retirement actually is like without being fully committed to it. Like taking a car for a test drive before deciding whether you want to own it. If it feels tight, that isn't failure. That's information. That's why questions like, can I retire on $2 million don't have universal answers. An experiment reveals far more than a projection ever can. Discomfort during this phase is totally normal. Many people are surprised by how emotionally challenging this transition can be. Shifting from a lifetime of saving to spending isn't something that happens overnight. Habits built over decades don't just disappear because work ends. Neither does the caution that came with them. This transition is like learning a new language. You begin to understand it long before you can speak it fluently. The space in between is where growth happens, and that's where most of the discomfort lies as well. You may start to recognize what feels different before you can explain it. Certain days feel heavier than expected. Others feel lighter than you imagined. And it can be hard to put words to why. That's part of the learning. There's an irony here. Retirement can feel a lot like your first day at a new job. Even though you've left the working world, you're suddenly new again. So many things have to be started over. New routines, new relationships, a new sense of what's expected of you. And it's a new way of fitting in. In work, those decisions were clear. Deadlines told you what mattered. Meetings told you where to be. Titles, that told you who you were. In retirement, you have to decide all those things for yourself. That unfamiliarity can put a pit in your stomach. And that reaction isn't a warning sign. It lets you know it matters. It's part of learning your way around. What often makes this harder is the silence. There's no performance reviews, no scorecards, no one telling you that you're doing this right. And that can feel unsettling, especially for people who spent their lives being competent, reliable, and productive. Over time, with openness, a willingness to be a little vulnerable, and learning from small mistakes, things begin to settle. You start to notice patterns. What gives you energy? What drains it? Which days feel full and which ones feel scattered? And you start to find your footing. You start to trust yourself again. Confidence returns. And not the confidence of mastery, but the confidence of orientation. The small missteps along the way aren't fatal. They're part of learning something new. That's why experimentation matters. Experimenting isn't about getting retirement right. It's about giving yourself permission to learn while in motion. Trying something, noticing how it feels, making a small adjustment, and trying again. That process builds judgment. And judgment's what carries you forward when certainty is unavailable. It's like Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts. Retirement doesn't reward perfection, it rewards continuation, showing up again, staying curious, making another small adjustment. That's what this transition asks for.